Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today we've made it to Vlogmas day 7. We have made it an entire week through Vlogmas, which I am pretty darn impressed with. Today I thought we'd do another get ready with me. I actually don't know what I'm going to do. I've sat down and not even thought about it, to be honest. Let's pick a palette and let's go in. I apologise if at any point you hear my chair squeaking. Somehow it's the chair I always sit on, but today it's squeaky, so but I think we will pull out the Hey Reindeer palette from Odens today. It's a bit more colourful. I think I am going to do a palette bingo with all of the Odens Christmas palettes, but I really wanted to use this one on its own because it is so very much up my street. Let me tell you, my makeup case was so organised, and then I filmed all the other Vlogmas videos last weekend and it's just been a hell of a mess since then. But I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I've got nothing to get my hair out of my face. Good start. Let's just give it a pull up. A little bit of housekeeping. As always, these earrings are again from Hollyhocks. I've got so many of Holly's Christmas earrings. I absolutely love them. I've got some really fun ones for the videos, so sort of closer to Christmas, which are essentially vegetables in party hats, which incredible. But these cute little sugar cookies, you can pick what colours you have on top. So I've got like a light pink and a dark pink, because of course this is me we're talking about. Okay, that's all on. We're ignoring this little collection of friends here. They hurt, quite frankly. I'm gonna grab some eyeshadow primer, using something different today. This is now smudge proof because this is getting on the empty side, and I want to get this one finished up. Okie dokie, let's pop that on the lids. This has got a little bit more of a white base to the Too Faced one we normally use. It's not like heavily white, but it has got a bit of like a pale tinge, so I think if you are sort of a medium deep skin tone you might get a bit of overcast from this one, but I do believe they do it in skin tone shades as well, so probably skip the white one and get one sort of a nudie one rather than this one. Right, have I got any clean brushes? No, of course I haven't. Anyways, right, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this one. I might do like a pinky ready look with a pop of something different, but then again this candy cane shade is like the most amazing duochrome. I don't know whether you can see that on camera, so maybe we will use that as well. Maybe put some glitter primer under it. Okay, so I think we're going to go in with Reindeer, which is this pinky shade in this corner, and I'm going to use a Katie Jane Hughes in Spectrum 11 to take this through my crease. It's kind of like a mauvey pink. It's a really pretty shade. Not particularly something I would sort of tie in with Christmas, unless it's my Christmas, because obviously there's pink there. But it is really, really pretty. A little bit lighter than it looks in the pan. It's not quite as sort of, I would say it's more like a mid-tone in a pan, but when I'm putting it on the lid it's definitely lighter. But that's not a problem. Just thought today we'd just do like a normal chat, you get ready with me. And she went and got my nails done yesterday and we actually filmed it, which was so fun. So you should have seen that one yesterday. I think it would have been like a shorter video than normal, but it was so cool. I had a really great time. I absolutely love my nail girl. She's an absolute babe. And I absolutely love what she did. We've got like candy canes and chrome. They're just so festive. So that's that pinky shade down. I'm going to marker something on my face. I think we're next going to go into Greetings, which is kind of this like mid-tone purpley dopey brown. It's a really unusual shade. I think that's the thing with these two new palettes from Odens. I know a lot of people were disappointed in them because they're not anything that sort of looks like the Merry Christmas or the Christmas Eve. But I actually think they're really different. They've got shades in that I don't have in my collection. And we all know my collection is way too huge. So the fact that I don't have them is pretty impressive. And I think they're just a little bit different. They're taking a little bit of a twist. I don't actually know if these are still available. I don't know whether they're restocking them. Possibly, possibly not. I know last time I think they restocked like just before Christmas. So if you do want to sort of keep up to date with that, I definitely recommend following them on Instagram and also signing up to their like mailing list, because you'll be the first to know then. But I really think Odens Eye have stepped up their game recently. The mattes are so much easier to work with than they were in the past. And the shimmers are just absolutely stunning. I know some people have trouble with them going hard pan, but personally I've never really experienced that with any of the newer ones. So, you know, if you're sort of not sure about whether you want to give them another go, I'd say give it a go. Right, okay, we're going to take this one here, which is called Mistletoe, which looks to be like a terracotta red shade. I'm not going too crazy with this one, because I don't know how pigmented it is. And the answer to that question is quite. That is like literally like 2 dips in the pan. And we're just going to start blending this in. We're going for like a bit of like a smoky red moment. And then we might blend it out with a little bit of orange. Okay. Oh, this is really pretty. Something a little bit different, like I said. I just think they've really sort of stepped out of that creative box and gone a bit wild. And I really enjoy it. And I feel like if you've got the Halo palettes, the Little Ghosts palette would go beautifully with this one. I could potentially do a video with that, but obviously I don't know which, if ever, they're going to be restocked and stuff, so it's up to you guys if you do want to see that, but I feel like this would pair with Little Ghosts really well. The only thing I will say is obviously like the front packaging is very like heavily pink, and I feel like it's a little bit misleading because there isn't really that much pink in here. There's more like blues and then yellows, so I do think they've like focused on the pink, and I kind of wish there was like a brighter pink in here, perhaps instead of this dark brown, but that's just me. You guys know I'm probably not going to use that dark brown, and if I ever do, it's sort of going to be a, well, I really should use this shade because I've used everything else and not this one. Right, okay, so that's the red down. That's blended really nicely. I am just going to take a fluffier brush chair again. This is a G616 by Give Me Glow. Going to take the Reindeer shade, so the first one we used, and I'm going to blend this out around the edges. And we're trying not to go like too much with this because I don't want this eye to look like a bruise. That is not the vibe I'm going for. Okay, we're going to go back in with the 11, back in with that Mistletoe shade, and I'm going to build this up quite heavily on the outer corner. And it is like a really like, it's almost like a burnt terracotta orange kind of red. It's not like got that pinky tone to it, which is interesting because it actually pairs really nicely with the 2 pinky shades. But I do think, like I said, this could get like bruised very, very quickly. It is one I'm going to have to like take a little bit more care and a little bit more time with. So again, we're just pressing that on the outer corner. I know I just said I won't use the brown, but I don't know whether maybe to deepen it up in the crease a little bit with that. I'm going to go back in with the blending brush, and we're just going to blend around that kind of area where we've just laid that red down, just so it's not got any harsh line. I'm going to take the Spectrum one. It's definitely not clean. It's the A18, and we're going to go in first with Candy Canes, I think. And I'm going to take this one quite heavily on the brush, I'm going to pop this one. Oh my god, look at that. That's so pretty. It's like it's almost got a bit of like a purple reflect to it. That is beautiful. It's like full on like glittery. Oh, that's stunning. Okay. Love that. And then pop that on the inner corner on this eye. We've also got the shade Christmas Ham, which I don't even know why, which is like a white with reflex in it. But this shade, oh, that is so sparkly. I can see myself using this one a lot. I feel like that would be perfect as well, just like washed over the lid. I think I do want to do something different in the middle. So part of me is thinking this Christmas stocking shade, which is like a gorgeous gold, and I feel like it might, this is either going to look terrible or it's going to look great. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that gold there, and then I'm going to go back in with Christmas stocking and kind of put it over the top of it to make sure these two are kind of blended into each other. I just think that gives it just a little bit more depth, and then you can see kind of the pink sparkles on top. Ah, I love it when a make or break shade does not break. That gold is insane though. It's like so creamy and pigmented. That is crazy. I don't know why I expect any less from Odens Eye these days, to be fair. But I think like I have the pastel palette. What is it called? Is it like Alpha 2, I want to say? And I don't love that one. So I think sometimes it's just like, is it going to be like that again? In fact, they just knock it out the park these days. I'm going to do a bit of waterliner. I actually got this one in my Glisten advent calendar today. So today's the 3rd. This is a gorgeous gold shade called Vegas. It's very, very bright. And I think I'm going to do like a half cut crease. Ultimate favourite waterliner brush. This is the number 8 from Glisten. If you are new here, I talk about this brush all the time. If you don't think you can do waterliner like in your crease, buy one of these brushes. Honestly, it will change your life. I feel like you could also get like a painter's brush, but I love Glisten, so I'm going to support the hell out of her. Probably can't hear me. Then we're just going to pop a little bit of setting spray into the liner. These also are the big pans, which is amazing. I think the calendar was like 90, but if you signed up for a newsletter, I think it was like £70. So I got like 24 big pots of waterliner and some brushes for like £70, which is a bargain. So if you are a regular here, you know I like to do this with my waterliner. I like to get it nice and wet, and then we're going to take it along the edge of the pot. You probably can't see because my nails. If there's any drips, and we're going to pull it along so that we've got a completely coated but completely like thin out brush. Just makes it really easier. The more water you use, the easier it is. And then we're literally, I'm just going to follow around my crease. Oh, this shade is stunning. We got a black in day 2 and some brushes in day 1. So I'm hoping like we get like some like festive colours as well. I can perhaps do some like fun festive eyeliner for you guys, but I feel like this gold is very festive. So doing the same thing again. If you need more setting spray, add more setting spray. Pulling it against the tube so it's not got any bubbles on it. Like I said, the more liquidy the liner on your brush is, the easier you'll find it and the better the pigment will be. I think a lot of people don't add enough water to their waterliners, and then they're quite like dry and draggy. Whereas if you make sure it is well saturated with water or setting spray or whatever you're using, and then always leave the lid off, leave it out to dry, because we don't want no gross things growing in our waterliners, thank you. Right, okay, and that was so easy. Took me 2 seconds. And it really just elevates the look. Do some base makeup. Yummy Skin foundation. I'm actually about to rank all of the foundations I bought this year. This one, I've not had that much time to test it because it is super light. So I had to wait for my winter tan, my summer tan to go away completely to be back to my completely Casper the Ghost Pale. But I really like the packaging of this one. It's got like this is like squeezy, so I just think it's a really smart idea, and I don't know why more people haven't thought of that. I'm going to take this is a Cocoa Cosmetics by Chloe sponge. Normally use Dose of Lashes, they're pretty much both the same. It's actually clean because I've washed it, go me. And we're just going to blend this in. The one thing with this one is I find you have to work with it really quickly because it does kind of set. And I may have like nattered on for too long there because it just sets. And as you can tell, it definitely is still too light. I definitely have to warm this up. But I like the fact it's incredibly light. It's the shade 1P, which is nice and pink toned. But obviously, it literally looks like white foundation on me, which isn't great. And because it's this light, I do find it kind of picks up on any sort of texture, any blemishes, because it's white as hell. So I keep thinking, do I buy a different shade to try that out, or do I not actually like the formula that much? It's sort of one of those like middle of the range formulas. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's awful. But the shade is definitely hot. That looks ridiculous. This is worse than the bloody Kat Von D Good Apple one. Insane. Right, okay, we're going to use... I think I'm going to use some MAC Pro Longwear because this is darker. This is NW15. And I'm going to use this to kind of warm up my face. I'm going to do like a pump and a half because we're actually going to use it today. Right, okay, under eyes, nose, chin, forehead, basically everywhere. And then we're going to bronze to hell. Myself looks slightly more normal coloured. I am impressed with the paleness of this shade, but in the swatches on Beauty Bay, it doesn't look anything like this. It's much, much darker looking in the swatches, so I don't love that for me. I need to get some bronzer on. I'm actually scaring myself. Jesus Christ. Don't let your children watch this video. They'll never sleep again. Right, okay. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to make this work. We're going to go in with absolute shed loads of... Do you know what? Actually, we're not going to do that. That might be too sheer. We're going to go in with shed loads of Bondi Bay from Nudestix. I love the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's definitely a bit more sheer than this one. So I'm literally going to stripe this everywhere. And I'm not going to be shy with it because, like I said, this is not a good look. Normally I'm like, I just put a tiny bit of this on, and normally like I do it with my BH Cosmetics brush that you all know I love for contour, the Studio Pro 3, and I'll like just dip my brush in it a little bit, but today I'm like, nope. Absolutely slather it on to make myself look moderately normal. Definitely just put it in my hair because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy nattering. But there we go. What can you do? I feel like I still look very pale, but it was definitely better than it was. It's a bit more kind of highlighted now rather than like, I am a scary ghost. Just going to put a bit of the leftover bronzer on my brush down my nose as well. Right, okay, that's better. Now we'll do the under eyes. I'm going to go back in with the Greetings shade. I'm going to use a Spectrum 17 with Katie Jane Hughes. This is definitely not clean. So this is probably going to be darker than it actually looks. Yeah, because there's definitely a shade that looks a lot like mistletoe mixed in there, but I was going to put mistletoe on top anyway, so it's fine. Just going to pop that under the eyes. That bit of hair really wants to be involved in today's makeup. And I'm like, no thank you. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of powder. We're going to do some pink today, so I'm going to use Pink Honey and Cariad Smoothing Sugar. This is the hot pink shade. I'm going to take it on the end of my powder puff. And I'm just going to press that in. I absolutely love this shade. It also makes a beautiful blush if you're not into the pink under eye. I just think today. Again, it just distracts from how pale I am right now. And I also love to do a pink under eye when we're doing this kind of toned eye look. I just think it looks really pretty. Right, okie dokie. I've got so many piles out here because I'm filming loads again today. We're probably going to do 2 lots of looks. So you're going to heavily see this little top here in these videos. I'm just going to pop a bit of MAC Bushy Brow Fibre Gel in my eyebrows, which I finally plucked. Be proud of me. So now they are less, well, quite frankly, I've got less of a monobrow now. But just making sure that we've got anywhere where we might have got some of that. It's a bit of a pale foundation in our brows. They even look really dark because I'm that pale. Right, okay, let's do blush. Since we are insanely pale today, it seems only sensible to use Made by Mitchell Pinkles because it will look so cute. It's not Made by Mitchell. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Blush Wand in Pink Pop. That was a lot of P's. That was rough. Oh my god, I absolutely did not want that much. Lock it. Always lock it. Just squeezed out way too much. I mean, we might put it all on. Let's face it, it's me. I'm gonna do my fave cream blush brush, the Beauty Bay Bake Off. That is a lot of blush even for me. I'm going to put a little bit of this down. This says it's Pink Pop. It's definitely more peachy, but I like to do this one and then put a pink over it. I'm just going to take the bottom of my sponge and just blend that out a little bit. Loads of people said they smoothed their makeup out, and I've never experienced that with them. So I feel like these are one that you need to test yourself, because like I said, I've never experienced it with them, but I've also heard loads of people talk about the fact they move your makeup around, and I don't think they do for me personally, but there we go. Right, we're gonna take Pinkles on a G972 from Give Me Glow, best blush brush ever, and I'm really gonna load this up. Like, really load it up to make me look moderately alive. Honestly, I watched Kerry's video this morning while I was in bed, and she was like, this is a lot of blush, and I was like, babe, I look like a clown 90% of the time. Don't even worry about that being too much blush. This is probably too much blush, but I don't give a damn, because I love me some blush. Right, okay, I'm going to go do lashes. I'm going to go wipe this blush off my hand before I get it everywhere, and then I'll be back. Right, okay, they are on. We're just going to do some powder bronzer. This is Urban Decay Beached Bronzer, because I'm trying to finish this one up, because it's got a big pan and I want it to have more. So I'm taking this sort of quite heavily over where we bronzed with Bondi Bay, but I am also going kind of lightly over the areas that we haven't bronzed, just to basically put some more colour back in my face. And that is how you make a foundation that's way too light for you look okay. But I'm just gonna do a little bit of highlighter. This is the P. Louise F35. Do a bit of MAC Beaming Blush today because it's kind of got that gold tone that we've got on the eyes. I feel like this look has come out a lot more neutral than I intended it to be, but there we go. Sometimes that happens. So I'm just going to pop that on top of the blush because it has got a bit of like a pinky reflect, and I feel like it would be too dark for this foundation, so I'm just kind of popping it on top of where my blush is, so that if there's kind of any pigment underneath that you can see, it's on top of my blush, if that makes sense. Are you following? Am I following? I don't even know if I'm following anymore. Right, okay. Lancôme Hypnose Waterproof. The only mascara that does not end up down my face. And we're just gonna apply this. I mean, there's not really much else to say about mascara, is there? And I'm just gonna pop a little bit on the lash just to help blend it in with the natural lashes, is what I'm trying to say. Honestly, I'm having such trouble with the inner corners of my lashes at the moment. I just cannot get them to stick on either eye. Doesn't matter what pair of lashes I wear, how much I trim them. My eyes are just like, no thank you. I don't want that. Just gonna squeeze together. I can use a tool for the squeezing. I personally prefer to use my hands. I feel like I've got more control that way. Right, the lip. Randomly, I actually picked these up from Asda because they were on 2 for £12 and I wanted to try them. So we've got Matte Resistance in 420 La Rouge Paris or 500 Wine Not. So first off, let's get these opened. I get that these are here for a reason, but I hate them. They just always leave sticky, horrible residue. Okay. Ooh, that is pretty. But I'm thinking maybe the wine shade. This is La Rouge Paris. Let's open up the wine shade too. Why not? Because it's definitely not really difficult. P. Louise Overnight Sleeping Mask on my lips because they are gross right now. So dry. My body hates the winter. Like, my skin is so dry. My lips are so dry. My eyes water constantly. It's just, I was just meant to be born somewhere warm and sunny, like, I don't know, Barbados. That would do. That would definitely do. One is Wine Not. Don't stab yourself with tweezers, kids. It will bleed. That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm excited to see how these ones wear because that's beautiful. I do normally really like L'Oreal products. I feel like drugstore wise, L'Oreal and Maybelline do the best lip products, hands down. So that was a little bit of a chaotic get ready with me, but I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe, and if you want to make sure you never miss one of the Vlogmas videos, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you every time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball, and I'll see you next time. Bye!